It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion in your elixir, got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness, fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness, switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker, keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gonna teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing, more like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gonna get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, Martin Luther King Day, Inauguration Day in the United States. Also, this is episode 795 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour or so, me, you, DJ B-Sec behind the glass, Mara Levy, Terrence Billingsley, LeGrot, a special shout out to Nathaniel Townsend in the car. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
George Strasburger, Terrence Billingsley, Dusty Carlisle, so many of the mods. Guys, we're all going to shred the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction to your business stakeholders? On top of that, with so much going on at a regulatory level, we'll be covering that as well. If you're a solo operator, know that you do have virtual coworkers here at Simply Cyber, hashtag Team SC. Don't feel like you got to go it alone. And if you're looking to break into the industry, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? Right here, pointing at it is the answer. Home run, ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner in some circles. Because we cover the top news of the day. We give, analysis and understanding. And really, I got to tell you guys, understanding kind of the trends and macro picture of the cyber threat landscape is vital to being able to actually deliver excellence at your job, whether you're a SOC analyst or GRC, pen test, or whatever. You got to know what's going on so you can figure out the best way to serve your organization base. Now, I want you to know, good morning, AA Weatherspoon and Nerdpocalypse. Listen, I want you all to know that Marcus Kyler from the Yeet Crew is here. Marcus, tough beat on the Lions, dude. Sorry. Hey, listen, I want you to know I don't prep or research for any of these stories that we're going to be getting into. I barely even know what they are. I set them up beforehand, but I'm talking to DJ B-Sec. I'm doing Discord posts. It's busy up in here. So you're going to get a true, authentic reaction response, and I will do my best, like I do with every story, to mine some type of value, some type of insights for you to get it, to make it worth your while. All right. Now, before we get into it, I do want to say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you on the daily, including holidays like Martin Luther King Day. Guys, real quick, I want to say shout out to ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is always bringing the heat. Let's do 30 seconds with them. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you how this show can solve your CPE woes. Be right back. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, thank you. I'm like DMing. I'm DMing with Marcus Kyler in chat, in public chat right now. Oh my God. Okay, hey, so check it out. This show right here is worth half a CPE. Now, you might be like, what? What do I do with that? Yes, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is about an hour long, and let's just break it down and say half an hour of that is focused on the content and the knowledge share. This is an instructor-led webinar. I've got 20 years of experience, a bunch of education. I'm qualified to be the instructor leading the webinar about the cyber threat landscape. So that's how you qualify it. We do not have to be all nerdy and pocket protectors up in here. We can have fun with our cyber as well as get our CPEs. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot just like this right here. Brian White, hashtag Team SC, my man.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Viper Nil, GRC Mafia, go Bills. Oh boy, yep, the Bills. All right. Hey, so just say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot, file it away once a year. Count the number of screenshots you got, and divide by 2. It's simple as that. All right. Very, very easy. Also, if you are curious about the stream schedule and how you can find out more information about, wait, hold on one second. I don't even know where to go find that. We released the stream schedule today, and I just posted it in Discord. So if you're on the Discord server, you definitely saw that ! Discord in chat. If you want to get the stream schedule, Kimberly puts it up. It looks wonderful. It's very visually appealing. And did you know that if you get up a little bit early, left coast, I know it's too early for you guys, but if you get up a little early, there's actually a group of folks who get together before the Daily Cyber Threat Brief every single morning in Discord, having a voice chat, pre-jaw-jacking, if you will, pre-show jaw-jacking. Go check that out. Chris Whitlock's leading that effort, which is wicked cool. Thank you very much, Chris. All right, guys. If you're a regular here, drop a hashtag Team SC in chat, like Alpha Sierra, Blue Badge, Team SC in chat. If you're a regular member of the community, hashtag Team SC. It's always great to have the community members and see the regular friendly faces, familiar friends. And if you are here for the first time, if for some reason you decided to get up on a holiday and get on the stream with us and you are here, well, welcome to the party, pal. Drop a hashtag first timer. Maybe a friend told you about us. Maybe you stumbled across us because the YouTube algorithm figured you out. But whatever it is, you're welcome to be here. We make the circle as wide as we can. Please drop a hashtag first timer in chat if you're new, because we have a special sound effect and a special emote that we love using to welcome people. Nathaniel Townsend knows what I'm talking about.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, guys. Let's just do one more quick ad read, and then we're going to get right into it. Let's do Delete Me. Guys, 30 seconds with Delete Me, and then when we come back, get ready, because we are launching. Go get your coffee, go get your water, whatever you got, your beers. Go get them, because when we get back, we're straight to business, all right? Let's go. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. All right. Hey, shout out to Val Richardson. We said it in chat. Good morning and welcome to the party, pal. Thanks for letting us know it's your first time, Val.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. So, Val and everybody else, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll. Let's party.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, January 20th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. TikTok is back, but with strings attached. After shutting down in the US late Saturday night, TikTok appears to be back up and running after President-elect Trump announced on Sunday that he would offer a 90-day deadline for the company to find a US purchaser. This would come in an executive order today. The app now works again for its existing users, although it is still unavailable on the Google and Apple app stores. In a post sent to Truth Social on Sunday morning, Trump suggested that the US take 50% ownership of the company. Meanwhile,
What? What the hell? Are you serious? Why would the United States want to buy half of a social media platform company? And by the way, if that were the case, I'd be like, if I was like Meta, I'd be like, hello, can I get half? Can I get some money too? All right. So this TikTok ban thing, again, this is not cybersecurity. So like, let's just get that out of the way first. But listen, the Supreme Court upheld a ban on TikTok. It was supposed to go into effect yesterday, Sunday. Kind of mixed things. I tried to go to TikTok on, I think, my phone, and it wouldn't log in. I think I tried to go to TikTok on the my TV, like the app on my TV, and like the store didn't have it. But I was able to go on a website and pull it up. So the whole thing's a hot mess express. I know that there's a lot of people wrapping this in the blanket of small businesses use TikTok as their marketing approach, and this ban's going to do it. But like there are other platforms, so I don't know. And then there was this like Red Note thing. Again, this is not really a cyber story. Red Note is a Mandarin based or Mandarin language based app that's supposed to be like TikTok. It's very much like, I don't know, dude, like the whole Red Note thing makes me feel like, and I mean this in the most metaphorical way possible, like a crackhead, like you're just like, oh, I need that TikTok. Ah, man, just give me that. Oh, I'll take some Red Note. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not even, you don't even understand it. Like, what do you speak Mandarin? Like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh no, it just looks good. Those shorts, it like feeds this this like dopamine hit that you get. I don't know, but yeah, Mandarin trap music. This is what we're into now. I mean, I just found out about funk like recently, so like let's slow down on Mandarin trap. We'll see, guys. If there is a US based purchaser, maybe it'll work. Honestly, I don't see why somebody wouldn't want to buy it. I don't understand the business economics behind it. If ByteDance, who owns TikTok, is trying to sell it for way more than it's worth, or something like that. But there's a lot of really wealthy people. Like some of the most wealthiest people in the world live in the United States, or US people, right? Like Elon and stuff. So you could buy it, right? I mean, it doesn't really change anything. It'd probably make a ton of money too, right? Of course, I don't know with all the music on TikTok, right? Like TikTok doesn't give an F about copyright. I'm pretty sure, right? So I don't know, whatever. You guys can, we can jaw jack about this later. Again, not a cyber story at all.
Over the weekend, millions of TikTok users headed over to Red Note, declaring themselves as TikTok refugees.
All right, hold on. The story's still going. I thought that was over, but we'll just. I feel like this is like snow. Like if you like, okay, so a lot of us in the U.S. are getting hit with snow and in winter conditions right now. I feel like this story is just like shoveling. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you never shoveled, I know like Miami, Kimberly crew, like. You don't know, but like in the north, like when you get a blizzard, and I'm sure Chris Whitlock's like, hold my beer right now, but like when you got a shovel, you just put your head down and friggin' plow through it. And sometimes you're like halfway there and you're like looking at it and you're like, I am exhausted and I'm not even close to done. So that's like what this story is. Like it's not cyber and we just got to put our head down and plow through the rest of it.
Some sent messages saying they were doing so to spite the US government for blocking TikTok in the first place. According to Dark Reading, Red Note is based in Shanghai and is one of the few social media platforms allowed to operate on both sides of the Great Firewall, making spying on Americans seemingly much easier. Red Note's servers are primarily located in China, meaning that user data is subject to Chinese cybersecurity laws that require companies to grant government access upon request.
All right. Really quick, I do appreciate that they tried to shoehorn cybersecurity into that story, where they said there's cybersecurity regulations that require federal investigators the ability to tap in. That's not a cyber regulation. That's a law enforcement regulation, but okay.
Prior to TikTok's 90-day lifeline, numerous experts had been stating that this resulting exodus to Red Note had, quote, made U.S. national security over TikTok.
Hey, I'm going to go get a sandwich. Like, someone text me when the story's done.
Even more problematic, end quote.
My God.
Gnome promises to curtail CISA. As quoted in Cyberscoop, quote, Department of Homeland Security Secretary nominee Kristi Noem stated in testimony before the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee on Friday that if confirmed, she would keep the department out of efforts to combat disinformation and misinformation and pledged to make CISA, quote, smaller and more nimble, end quote. She added that CISA has gone, quote, far off mission, which is to hunt and to help harden our nation's critical infrastructure, end quote.
This is scary to me. Okay. Like we don't talk politics, okay? Politics and religion, they typically destroy conversations and relationships. So I'm going to do my best to tiptoe around this one. I'm concerned for the direction of CISA. I think CISA's done a lot of good the last couple years. By the way, if you get a chance, Jen Easterly sent you know how like when you quit your job, but you like your coworkers, you just like got a better opportunity and you send out the like so long and farewell. I think the Navy people have fair winds and safe seas or something like that, whatever it is. If you're a former Navy, drop it in chat. There's definitely some type of like send off. But anyways, Jen Easterly sent like a really legit one on social media yesterday. I reposted it in the Discord server under general chat if you want to check it out. Kristi Noem here. This is the woman who wrote in her autobiography that she killed a dog. Her dog. That her. Although I will say in full disclosure, they did go out and remove that section from the book in an updated version of it. So, you know, maybe it wasn't true, but it was her autobiography. So I'm not quite sure how you make that mistake. She wants CISA to be smaller and nimbler and not have any disinformation, misinformation actions. Russia's playbook in the world of geopolitical national security, cybersecurity actions. Russia's playbook is disinformation and misinformation. They're very, very good at it. And we did rely on CISA to help combat that. Hopefully with the amount of regulations and lawmakers, you know, this misinformation, disinformation action will somehow get picked up somewhere else. If you do rely on CISA for your vulnerability scanning, incident response, known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, that could be in jeopardy. Okay, you may want to ask for some budget. if you're depending on these basically federal resources to help you achieve your cybersecurity mission at your job, because it sounds like, to use her terms here, to make it smaller and more nimble, that typically means less services and less budget. Let's see. Oh boy. Okay. So, Trump gets inaugurated today. We've seen much of his cabinet and his cabinet choices. You know, Here's the deal. All right. I like CISA quite a bit. I think CISA has been good for the United States. It got stood up under Department of Homeland Security. DHS has a lot to do, including Border Patrol. Right. That's basically the physical barrier, whereas CISA is kind of worried about the cyber barrier. A lot of great resources coming out of CISA and threat intelligence. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't know of Kristi Noem being necessarily a front runner in the world of cyber or in technology. I don't think my understanding is that's not her strength, but she was governor of a state, which is like basically the president of South Dakota. So clearly she's got some chops. I'm not gonna dismiss her. Here's the deal. I like to give everyone a fair chance, right? So I'm not going to just dismiss her based on what I've heard about her. Let's see it. Let's see. She's got the job. So let's see what she does. CIS has been very valuable in the past for cybersecurity professionals, and I hope they continue to be in that case.
Label company Avery announces data breach. The company, well known for its line of adhesive labels, printing services, and other office products, stated that the attack was discovered on December 9th of last year, but the attack itself was the installation of a card skimmer on Avery.com, the company's online shop domain. This installation occurred on July 18th, 2024, and as a result, quote, sensitive payment information that customers inputted on Avery's website between July 18th and December 9th, 2024, was exfiltrated to the threat actors, end quote. This includes PII, of course, but also payment card numbers with CVV codes and expiration dates. The company estimates that more than 61,000 customers may have been affected.
All right. And thanks everybody in chat. I see like Alpha Sierra and some other people sharing their thoughts. Bilbo, South Dakota's got a robust cyber program. She'll do well. Thank you. So I do appreciate the thoughts and perspectives. Again, like I said, in full disclosure, I didn't interview her. I didn't do like a deep dive on her. So I hope it works out. But I do appreciate everybody. And I'll just emphasize this since there are kind of a couple political stories here. The Simply Cyber community is inclusive, supportive, collaborative, okay? Everybody's open to their own thoughts and opinions, but and we don't see this very often, but it's a good time to reiterate it. Be kind to each other. Be kind. Everybody, if you have a different opinion, that's fine. People can have different opinions. Just be kind to each other. And keep it, you can have opinions, right? But like, usually, informed educational conversations are good. All right. So finally, more of our good old classic cyber stories. So Avery, you guys know Avery. Avery, like if you've ever bought labels, right? It's almost always Avery. They kind of got a corner on the market. They got hit with a data breach. And guys, again. Okay, so it's January 2025, episode 795. I would like to officially declare that you need to update your threat modeling for credit card data theft, okay? Back in like 2015, 2016, I think it was like ZeusBot, right? And there was a couple other ones that were like prolific, but the credit card data stealing was hot. And then ransomware came on the scene, and like basically the threat actors who were doing credit card stealing were like, oh, it's easier to steal money with ransomware. Let's do that. Well, again, we're seeing an uptick in this activity, and it looks like threat actors are pivoting back to stealing credit card data, and they can do it in a variety of ways. A lot of them will put JavaScript, like custom malicious JavaScript, into the website during the checkout, basically process in order to skim that credit card data. And, customer still gets their product, business still gets their money, and threat actor now also gets the credit card. They can steal personal information as well, obviously, because you typically are putting in like your name, your address, credit card number, CVV code, et cetera, et cetera. And, basically threat actors are back after it. Looks like they had, the threat actors planted a card skimmer on Avery.com, and sensitive payment information was stolen. Okay, so here's what I would tell you. Hold on. Avery became aware of a ransomware attack? Okay, so here's the deal. This sucks. I hate this really quickly, okay? So ransomware, ransomware was always thought of as encrypting your files, right? And then selling you the key back, ransoming your key back. Well, then they got into like double extortion, where they would exfil your data and sell you your data back, or, basically they'd hold your data ransom, not just the keys to unlock your data, but your actual data ransom. So now they're getting paid two ways. Now it sounds like people are using the term ransomware to just mean any data is held. So like stealing credit card data and holding it ransom is not what I would think of as like when you say ransomware, it means something typically when you're talking to another cyber professional or IT person. This one sounds more like a credit card skimmer stealing credit cards, right? Like a info stealer. So I personally, I don't like the use of ransomware here. I think that's a little bit of a misleading misstatement. The other thing I would say is this was on Avery.com's main website. You have to imagine, come on, how Avery label annual revenue. Let's see how much these busters are making. Come on. In 2023, they made $8 billion.
Straight cash, homie.
All right, $8 billion. So this isn't mom and pop shop, okay? This isn't like, rubbing two nickels together and hoping that you get it through. Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. So you have to imagine that their primary website domain has a team behind it. And you can't just this isn't a WordPress site that someone stood up. Cool! Right? And it's just like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. Like I've got Avery.com. We're good. Like it's definitely robust. So here's what I will tell you. This is a big lesson learned, okay? It's clear that credit card skimming is elevated as a threat, okay? My GRC Mafia people, when you're looking at the likelihood phase, credit card skimming is elevated. It moves to the right in the box, okay? Second of all, most of these threat actors are inserting it on websites during the checkout phase, basically where you'd stick the credit card in. Back in 2015, they would go, they would penetrate into your network, find your database, and dump your data, including your credit card information. Okay, that was the attack vector back then. Today, 2025, it feels very much more that they're inserting JavaScript or malicious code. It doesn't have to be JavaScript. They're putting in malicious code at the point of sale and skimming the data at that point and excelling it there, which means two things. One, you definitely should make sure that your access controls around your website and basically the back end, the development piece of your website, the ability to insert code into your website is hardened. Do an access control review. Look at who has access to edit or change or insert code on your websites. Two, it's going to be really hard because your website is designed to be accessed by anybody in the world, right? So you're not going to, if someone from Cambodia goes to Avery.com, Avery.com isn't going to be like, oh, that's a threat actor. No, it's somebody in Cambodia who wants to buy labels. So you can't really do geofencing or any of that other stuff, right? But actually, you can't even really look at data leaving, because the transaction makes sense to see the data transactions. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess, I mean, you could obviously do some type of like software audit, like of your website to verify and see if there's any changes. Logs, if you have logging on your web dev environment to see, when changes are made to the source code and stuff like that, that would certainly help. That's what I would do in these cases. All I'm saying is, literally, if you take credit cards as part of your business, you have to give consideration to this, because this is like the third or fourth story I've read in the last like 2 months about this, and those are just the stories we're reading. It's definitely happening to more people, and it's just not making the news, And if you're holding out hope that CISA is going to help you, nope.
Thanks to today's episode's sponsor, Vanta. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like right now? CISOs know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to GRC programs, they rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across over 35 frameworks like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC.
No.
Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That is VANTA.com/headlines.
Honestly, I got to tell you really quickly, when I see this right here, it just makes me think of Will Smith when he's yelling at the Oscars, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." It's like, what I hear is, "Keep GRC out your mouth." Like, I feel like a certain like I want to protect the word GRC. All right, GRC Mafia. We're here. Let's do it. All right. We do this every single day, so Val, if you like Simple Minds, don't you forget about me. Come back every day for some of that action. Guys, let me say thank you. Thank you to our stream sponsors, Barricade, Threat Locker, Delete Me, Anti-Siphon. Guys, really, really genuinely appreciate them. Because of the sponsors, I'm able to bring the show to you. I'm able to do upgrades, and I'm able to do all sorts of fun stuff, including the Meta CTF, which is January 25th, later this week. If you're interested, I posted about it on the Discord server. Giddy up on that. Love it. All right, guys. Let me do a quick read here. Again, thank you to the stream sponsors, including Barricade Cyber Solution. Guys, Barricade Cyber Solutions, you know them. They've got their own emote in the tray. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated. Fleetus with the gifted subs. Thanks, Fleetus.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Thank you so very much, Barricade Cyber. Longtime friend, member. Eric is a mod. Casually Joseph is a mod. Justin Gold is a mod. Guys, so many wonderful people over at Barricade Cyber. I'm telling you right now, bookmark barricadecyber.com. You'll want it in the event that a cyber threat actor gets in your environment. Believe me, that's not when you want to figure out who to call. All right, you want to have that on speed dial. All right. I also want to say shout out and love to Anti-Siphon, guys. Anti-Siphon, Zach Hill. Don't make me slap the GRC out of you, Davey Crackett. That's so funny. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you. All right, guys. Hey, let's do 30 seconds with Anti-Siphon. I love Anti-Siphon. I bet you anything they've got some training coming up that's excellent. Let's do 30 seconds with them. And then when we get back, we're going to talk about the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. We recognize one member every Monday, and we got a great one for you today. Many of you know who he is. I'll let you guess, but let's hear from Anti-Siphon first. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Anti-Siphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Anti-Siphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing, as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisiphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right. Thank you, Anti-Siphon Training. Hey, really quick, want to give a special shout out and happy birthday to Paula. Paula, happy birthday. Celebrating, let's say, her 29th birthday. Definitely. Happy birthday, Paula. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right. Hey, every single day is a special day, and Mondays is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, where we recognize one member. And the cool thing about the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is I have gotten it sponsored by ThreatLocker, which means every single Monday, and if you've been a recipient of the Community Member of the Week, you know for a fact this is true. I give a $100 Amazon gift card to the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. People who are just helping the community, doing things. We got some really great updates coming soon from Chris Whitlock, who's the community. He's like director of community engagement. He's been going ham on the Discord server, and we're actually getting visibility and insights into all of the things that people are doing, even when we're not on the server, as far as like how active, how many channels, how many people you helped, and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Really quick, Simply Cyber takes a village. I'm up here every day, but DJ B-Sex behind the glass, the mod teams in mod chat. All of you are out there helping each other. Paula is having birthdays, right? Nathaniel Townsend's helping his dad out. Really quick, Nathaniel Townsend is a 6-year-old who listens to the show. Yes, sir. So it takes a village, guys. Just like ThreatLocker takes a deny by default approach to application security. Thank you very much, guys. You all know this dude. He is an OG of the Simply Cyber community, and he's also
Just become best friends. Yep.
Thank you, Glum Hippo. Listen, he is also, I haven't said it, but he is the author and creative behind the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief theme song. You hear it every morning when we start the show. He did it all on his own. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Hudson. If you get a chance, say hello to Joe Hudson. This guy is really good people, okay? He's helped so many individuals in cybersecurity in general. If you've met him once, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a friend of mine. I'm very, very proud to call him a friend. I was texting him just yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Hudson is your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. And now, if Alpha Sierra can lead us off. All right, Wim Types, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Alpha Sierra, lead us off. All right. Yes, sir. All right, let's do the back half of the show and get to jaw-jacking. Also, again, shout out to Fleetus with the 10 gifted subs. If you're one of the lucky recipients who picked up one of those 10 gifted subs, be sure to say thank you to Fleetus. Fleetus posting the third, always doing good for the community.
Surveillance pricing costs consumers, according to FTC report. The preliminary report, which was released on Friday, alleges that businesses, quote, charge customers more for products based on insights gleaned from their consumer data and behaviors, including geolocation, demographics, shopping habits, and even how an individual moves their mouse on a web page, end quote. This data was pulled from companies including MasterCard, Accenture, and McKinsey, who allegedly, quote, sell the tools that other businesses use to tweak pricing, end quote. This report uses only hypothetical examples to avoid revealing company trade secrets. An example of this would be, quote, a consumer profiled as a new parent being shown higher prices for baby products, end quote.
Yeah, that's
The companies
scum.
involved have denied that they sell or develop surveillance pricing software. The report itself is at the staff perspective stage, meaning that it is not yet final. Incoming FTC Chair Andrew Ferguson and fellow Republican Melissa Holyoke, quote, objected to its publication, saying that it should not have been released before the agency's investigation had concluded, end quote. Costa Rica.
Oh my God, this is so, like, gross and, like, mired in politics, okay? Why can't we get away from politics for a hot minute? Like, so here's the deal. This is called gross. Okay, capitalism. I love me some capitalism. I think capitalism is a great system, but we are continuing to see the cracks in the I guess there are negative elements to capitalism, unfortunately, and this is one of them, right? So if the goal is to maximize profits and, get as much as you can, this type of technique is pretty disgusting. Okay, so we've actually seen this. This is no different than like Uber surge pricing, right? So, hey, how much does it cost to get a ride to the airport from my house? Well, it depends. It depends what time of day it is. It depends what kind of car you're getting. It depends on a bunch of different things. So it's not flat rate. Just like, I don't know if you guys saw it. There was like a hot minute. It was rumored. It never went in. I feel like the story took off more than the actual execution of it. But there was rumors that Wendy's, the food restaurant, was going to introduce dynamic pricing. So basically, a chicken sandwich at lunchtime costs more than a chicken sandwich at 3 p.m., which is insane, right? And they're basically just sticking you with trying to maximize their absolute profits. Now this gets a little bit grosser, and this is why I say, and if you haven't been paying attention, settle in, right? This should be on a shirt. I have been saying since 2014, data is the new gold. And I actually said this to my son, my 12-year-old, yesterday, and he thought I was joking. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, data is the new gold. And he's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm like, dude, they can absolutely profile you, target you, and extort you. And he's like, Dad, you're just making up stuff. I'm like, no, this is it right here. Can you imagine selling baby formula for $1 a bottle, but then you find out it's a new parent on the phone and you're like, it's $3 a bottle. It's just gross, dude. So it's no longer about what the product is and what your margins are. It's about who your customer is and how you extort the most amount of money out of them because of you know what I mean? It's actually, I'm sorry, it's almost, because basic economics is supply and demand, right? This is like precision demand. That's what this is. You have supply. That part of the equation doesn't change. The demand changes based on the individual demanding it. Normally, it's just a market demand. This is precision demand using data and insights to target it. Now, what gets me kind of gross is, first of all, they're saying that this report shouldn't have been released yet until the investigation completed, which totally agree. But now let's wade into the waters of government and politics. It sounds like this might be suppressed. This report could be suppressed. I want to tell you one thing about this report that makes me think it's true is, well, two things. One, data is super, super valuable. And if MasterCard's in on the game, they have a lot of the transactions. They can see who's buying what, when, where, which makes it the ability to enrich those reports so much more. Second of all, and this is a bit of a deep cut, okay? For a bit of a deep cut, they said McKinsey was involved. Now, if you don't know who McKinsey is one of these like super high-end boutique consulting firms that has like, 25 rounds of interviews, and they like really, really pride themselves on being the biggest D in the room. And like, oh, like we only hire Ivy League. Oh, like McKinsey, it's almost like a bygone era, but like McKinsey is considered like Yale and Harvard consulting. Okay. Like Booz Allen, Deloitte, Accenture, Capgemini, those type of firms. Those are like mainstream, high-end, quality consulting firms. McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, those groups are like the boutique-y ones, okay? Now, the reason that I want to bring this up is because you ever heard of executive bonuses, right? You know how like executives give themselves these fat bonuses, like even when their company's doing horrible? Do you know who invented that concept? McKinsey. McKinsey did in like the 50s, all right? So they're all about like capitalism and serving the executives, because if you think about it for a hot minute, who's paying McKinsey's high bills? The executives are. Somebody on the manufacturing assembly line isn't hiring McKinsey. All right, I forgive me for going down a rabbit hole on this one. Again, this is more about data and data protection and the reason for data privacy. Not really a great story to extract cybersecurity lessons learned. Yeah, this is tough, guys. I got to tell you, today we've had like one good cyber story.
A refinery cyber attack was first deployment for new U.S. response program. Following up on a story we covered on December 3rd, a ransomware attack on Costa Rica's largest oil refinery was the first real-world test of the U.S. State Department's new rapid response tool for cybersecurity incidents. This is according to Nate Fick, the U.S. Ambassador at Large for Cyberspace and Digital Policy. The response program is a product of the State Department's Cyber Bureau and is called the Foreign Assistance Leveraged for Cybersecurity Operational Needs, or Falcon. A bit of a stretch in the acronym department there. It is described as, quote, one of several U.S. initiatives developed to bolster allies and infuse global digital norms with American values, end quote. Fick emphasized that the program is meant to use best-in-breed private sector incident response capabilities across a number of vendors, ideally within 48 hours of the initial request. In this inaugural case, it was around 36 hours. OpenText.
All right, so the story here is that Costa Rica got hit with ransomware, the country, okay? But that's fine. And this actually happened a month or two ago. Is there a date on this thing? I feel like Costa Rica got hit a while ago. It says in 2022 it suffered severe attacks, but that's not the case. I mean, that is true, but it definitely happened more recently than that too. The Falcon group was on the ground for 10 days, online support through mid-December. Yeah, so this happened, I guess, like in maybe early fall. But here's the story, okay? The actual story is that the United States has stood up what they call, and it's kind of like a mouthful, they've stood up essentially like an incident response capability for foreign countries. It's called the Foreign Assistance Leveraged for Cybersecurity Operational Needs, or Falcon. That sounds like a backronym where they came up with Falcon as a really cool word and then figured out a way to like back into making it an acronym. And basically, if a ally of the United States gets hit with a cyber attack and that ally is incapable of protecting or defending or responding themselves, then the United States will swoop in and take care of it. A couple of things here. One, to me, this is this is so political. This whole episode is political, which I don't like. Exactly, Wade, sponsored by CrowdStrike. Here's the thing. This is all okay. Tinfoil hat, please. Tinfoil hat, Jerry. And just so you know, Val, as a first timer, and the Wims first timer, when I go off the reservation, there's a tinfoil hat emote that we use. Where is it? I can't find it. Did we get rid of it? I didn't get rid of it, did I? Oh, here it is. All right, here we go. Check it out. To me, this right here is absolutely like my first thought is, why are we spending money to do incident response for foreign countries when we are getting slapped around? Like, why don't we deploy this capability internally to the United States and have things like Houston, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Minneapolis, LA? It doesn't even have to be private sector companies. We have public sector groups, agencies, communities getting hit with ransomware left, right, and center. Why don't we deploy this capability there? That's my first thought. Then, because I'm crusty and cynical and I've been around for a minute, my immediate thought goes, well, let's think about this. If this is like such a soft power play, right? So if Costa Rica gets hit and we swoop in and help out, first of all, we're making good friends with Costa Rica. Second of all, we get all the telemetry and intelligence of whatever that attack was, so we can see and get visibility into who is, who's behind it, right? Are they an adversary of ours? Can we get some type of telemetry or insights into their TTP so we can protect the United States more? Also, if you look at, again, how if you just Google China Belt and Road Initiative, okay, China's moving into like all over the place in Africa, a lot of places in South America, right? So there is this essentially like massive deployment effectively of Chinese power across multiple countries in the world. And this isn't even like xenophobia or make believe. You can literally look it up, right? Like China's building, infrastructure in Africa. They're building tons of infrastructure in Guyana, in South America. You can go look at it, right? I'm not making this up, okay? This isn't Hot Take Jerry coming at you from like the dark web or some Reddit post. Like, you can go find this stuff. So to me, this is, basically the United States trying to play that game as well, since there is this like massive geopolitical conflict going on between like NATO and BRICS and stuff like that. So yes, America wants to help people, but I think that there is a agenda here as well. Yeah, and you can see here, they're trying to bolster and infuse global digital norms with American values. That's what this is. This is a Team America, World Police. Like, we have it figured out. So why don't you go ahead and do it the way we do it? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how much it costs or what the expenses of deploying these people and this capability. But it's under Department of State, not DHS. So something like this would not go away under Kristi Noem's a plan of getting CISA to be nimble.
Added to Moscow's list of undesirable organizations. The company, headquartered near Toronto in Canada, specializes in enterprise information management software. It is now only the second company to have been named undesirable after a recorded future. Russia's official line says the OpenText Corporation, quote, collaborates closely with U.S. law enforcement and contributes to the West's anti-Russia propaganda efforts, end quote. But it is also worth noting that in 2023, OpenText acquired UK-based Micro Focus, which Russia says, quote, provided Ukrainian law enforcement agencies with cybersecurity software and services needed for data collection to strike Russian troops and infrastructure, end quote. 86.
All right. So, basically Russia's been listing companies that are undesirable. This is kind of no different than the United States saying like TikTok's banned or Kaspersky sucks, right? Like, it's kind of the same thing. Again, a lot of posturing going on between these like first world powers as they jockey for position. So it sounds like this company, OpenText, which you would think would just be a text editor, actually has cybersecurity software, and they've been providing it to Ukraine. So it's not necessarily that Russia thinks that there's info stealers or backdoors or whatever. It's literally because like this company is like siding with Ukraine and helping Ukraine out. You could easily draw the conclusion that if there is software that is clearly openly aiding your adversaries, that there's potential if you're using it as well. There could be some type of insights or, Trojan that could be inserted into the code that is detonated on your boxes. Remember, here, actually, thank God I can finally mine some value of cyber for you guys out of today's news. I'm really not wicked pumped about the stories today. It is possible, okay, for software that's deployed everywhere, right, to detonate only in certain adversaries' systems, okay? So let me explain this to you and give you a real example. Hold on 1 second. J Gold. Listen, when the NotPetya malware detonated, okay? So really quick, if you didn't know, NotPetya was a wiper malware, meaning it just wipes the machines that it gets on, causes massive problems, and it was made to look like Petya ransomware, which is why it was called NotPetya. Russia deployed it, and they used a Ukrainian accounting software as the deployment vehicle. So basically, Russia got into this Ukrainian accounting software system. Think of like QuickBooks, except in Ukraine, okay? And they pushed a update to the basically the systems that have installed this Ukrainian accounting software, and then detonated the wiper virus. Now, that's not exactly what I'm talking about here. The interesting thing was about this, that the software looked at the language of the keyboard before detonating. So if the keyboard language was in English, right, like many of us use keyboards, right, and one of the first things you do when you set up a new system is it says, what language are you speaking, right? You ever, you get a new iPhone and it says hello like 50 different languages, right? Language is like the first thing we do. It looked at the keyboard language and it said, what language are you? And if it was not, I believe Cyrillic, then it would not detonate. And this is a bit of a logic bomb wrapped with a wiper malware. So you can pair and partner and cobble together Frankenstein type malware that does multiple things. But that's one of those examples. So it's possible that this OpenText could develop a piece of software and have it embedded all over the place, including in Ukraine, where it's being used to help Ukraine, but only detonate and do bad stuff on Russian systems, right? So this is part of why Russia's concerned and marking it as undesirable. Undesirable basically means we're not doing business with you, okay? And of course, they suspended business in 2022. Dude, do you remember the Exodus in 2022 when Russia first invaded Ukraine? Like all the businesses were like moving out. And then if you stayed, you were considered like disgusting capitalist scum. Do you remember that? Like the first couple weeks of Russia invading Ukraine, like I want to say like retail businesses picked their crap up and got the hell out of there. And it was like McDonald's or Starbucks. Like one of the bigger names was like, we're just going to kind of play it out and see what happens. And like the public shame was like Game of Thrones walking them through the streets butt naked. And I believe that they got shamed into leaving. But anyways, sorry to go off on a tangent, but we did just talk about wiper viruses, logic bombs, and how they are implemented.
Percent of default router passwords have never been changed, says survey.
Gross.
This survey was conducted by the British company Broadband Genie, an independent UK comparison service for home broadband, TV, landline, and mobile home broadband service. This was the third on this topic conducted by the company, the first two done in 2018 and 2022. Of the more than 3,000 residential customers who responded, 52% say they have never adjusted any of their router factory settings. 86% said they have never changed the router administrator password, and 72% said they have never changed their Wi-Fi password. These and similar numbers have shown very little change up or down over 6 years. A link to the report is available in the show notes to this episode.
Sorry, me and Mod Chat are talking about meme coins here. All right, so check it out. Broadband Genie doing the work here. If this is true, okay, if this is true, this is absolutely infuriating, disgusting, okay? 2024 router survey, 52% have never adjusted their router's default settings. Now, I don't research these stories, so I have to think about it for a hot minute. I'm not as mad. I'm not as mad as I normally would be, okay? And I'll explain myself in a minute. Let's talk about this objectively first. You could see here, somehow in 2018, the first bar is 18, the second bar is 22, the third bar is 2024. Somehow from 2018 to 2022, we got better, dipping from 51% to 48% of people not adjusting their routers. But not to be outdone, we've increased beyond where we were in 2018 to 52%. Okay. 86% of respondents say they've never changed their router admin password. You could see it's just going down. So these insights, these statistics are really, really gross, honestly. When you have a default password and you can Google it, it's not that hard, right? 89% haven't updated their router firmware. Okay. So let's talk about what the problems are with this. First of all, a router, if we're talking about networking devices, a router connects two networks together. Okay. This is like, networking 101. Okay. A switch connects endpoints on the same network segment together and they can do layer 3, but it's mostly at layer 2, right? The MAC layer. Return of the MAC. Routers connect networks together, okay? So what that means is if you have a router, it's facing the network. Many of us have a router facing the internet, right? Your home router to your AT&T or Verizon or whatever is internet facing. So when you run it as default, that means that threat actors can scan the internet and find your home router. If it has a default admin password and it's used the same across endpoints, across devices like Netgear, or Linksys, admin, right? Then a threat actor can easily log in. And once they log in, they have your admin account and they can do all sorts of bad stuff, right? Second of all, if you haven't updated the firmware and a 0-day or security vulnerability comes out, threat actor can find it and pop it and get on the box, right? So it's all about getting into your device, and having your networking device be this vulnerable is pretty gross. Now, what I would recommend is, if you can, confirm that your internet-facing networking devices, home router or your business routers and firewalls and stuff like that, see if you can log into them using default creds that you can find on the internet, right? Now, I want to point out a couple things here that are pretty promising for some of us, okay? Number one, the router that I use, okay, does come with unique creds, okay? So this is why I'm not super pissed about this, okay? Have not changed the admin password. So my router, right, has a unique password that's like a really hot mess express, like 15 random characters, and it's on a sticker on the side of the router. All right. So there is a chance that someone somewhere in a factory who put the sticker there knows my admin password, but chances are they don't know what IP address it's tied to, right? So the risk of somebody exploiting it is pretty low. And if you try to do a brute force attack, kind of low, because it's so random and it'll take you forever to figure it out. So for those reasons, I could see, maybe I'm wrong. I have not changed that password, but to me, that password is unique. It is strong enough, and there's no reason to change it. Like, just changing, even NIST came out this year, 2024, and said you don't have to change passwords anymore as long as they're strong enough. So, I feel like change the admin passwords going down, but you've got to look at the environment, right? If they were all, TP-Link, yeah, that sucks. That's terrible. But if all of the standards are doing the way that my router is, and, I would imagine I use a massive, huge telecom provider for my ISP, I'm sure that's the case. So you don't really need to change them. My router firmware, if you don't know, you can configure it in some instances to auto update, just like my cell phone auto updates, my TV auto updates. Like if you can set things to auto update, then do it. Now, I will say you've got to be careful. If you're operating in a corporate environment, you can't really set things to auto update. You could set the TV in the meeting room to auto update because like IoT devices and stuff like that. But you're not going to want to like set your you're not going to want to set your file server, your domain controller to auto update. That would be a bad day. Okay. You come in off the weekend and like your server's like auto upgraded itself from server 2008 R2. So I will tell you this is a great opportunity. This report right here is a great opportunity to remember basic cyber hygiene and, basically do the best practices, the low hanging fruit, right? Change your Wi-Fi network name. Definitely make the SSID not visible if you don't need it to be visible, right? I mean, that doesn't really offer any security because you can still see it with a wireless card, but these are basic best practices. Okay. So I guess help I feel like this is more like, your Aunt Dorotheas of the world, who are just like plug and play. Oh, the technology works. Let's go. So I do. Yeah. Cygenie. Hi. What? Sci-Hi. Do you remember that stupid acronym for last week? Sci-Hi. All right. So we'll have to talk more during jaw jacking about this, but let's go. We're a couple minutes over. Let's do this. All right, friends. Let's do this. Remember, at 9:30 a.m. today, our friends Josh Mason and Wade Wells are premiering Season 2, Episode 2 of Simply Defensive, the blue-focused, awesome podcast on the Simply Cyber Media Group. And they are going to be interviewing Jess Bishop. Love me some Jess Bishop. Jess Bishop is a Blue Badge, longtime community member, former military police, and now she does SOC work, and she's so good at it. So come hang out for jaw jacking for the next 30 minutes, and then if you can, stay on and watch Wading Through Logs and Joshua SC-17 crush it like a bunch of bosses. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. This was episode 795 of your Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Don't go anywhere because we're going to start jaw jacking in a hot minute. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. Hey, how you doing? What's up? This is Jaw Jacking. I'm your host, Jerry Guy. We're just doing some fun stuff here, kicking it. We're coming hot off the heels from the Daily Cyber Threat Brief hosted by that nerd. What a zero. Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh my God. Oh, we don't talk politics here. Nerd. But seriously, guys, this next 30 minutes, it's all about you. If you have questions, I will do everything in my power to answer them to the best of my ability or find someone with a better answer to help you. Jaw jacking is all about community. It's all about helping, supporting, and empowering you to just absolutely destroy it. And I like to have some fun with it. Fleet is asking if this is my only fan intro. That's really funny. Fleet is hilarious. All right, let's keep going. DJ BSEC is not behind the glass now. He had to go take care of something. So I'm alone in the studio. So I'm going to do everything in my power to Marcus Kyler says I should add back the SC Cafe transition music after the jaw jacking bump. Can you not hear music right now? I don't know if I'm not sure what music you're talking about, Marcus. Mara Levy says hashtag nerd. I love it. I love it. No one watches public television anymore. The in-skip able ads. Yes. All right, so what's going... Oh, here we go. Real Bilbo with a question. What service does Simply Cyber use for its swag and t-shirts, and does that integrate into the YouTube channel? So the answer is yes. I'll give you two options, Bilbo. Okay, so number one is the one that I use, and it's called Spreadshirt. Spreadshirt. Hold on. So this is spreadshirt.com. Spreadshirt. I'll drop a link in chat. Real Bilbo. Hold on. And if you didn't know, yeah, hold on. There's a link. Okay, so if you go to simplycyber.io/merch, you can get to our merch store. Okay, and I'll just tell everybody really quickly. I think February 12th, everything in the merch store is gonna be like 25% off. Because I'm gonna be buying a bunch of stuff for reasons, and 25% off. Okay, like and this does integrate into the YouTube channel. You should. I'm pretty sure, like on stream right now, there should be like a merch. Does anyone see it? Like I don't really. I don't know if you know or if you've noticed, but like I don't really push merch. I'm not like, hey, be sure to check out my merch store to get all these hot shirts and stuff. It's available. I wear it. I like it. And other people enjoy it as well. The other one that you might want to use is Shopify. Shopify is what Black Hills uses. And it does not integrate with YouTube as far as I know. But the cool thing about Shopify is that I can just send someone a gift card for that. Like, oh, hey, like here's a gift card. Bilbo, like buy a shirt, have a shirt, Simply Cyber shirt on me. So then you do the transaction, you put in your own address. With Spreadshirt, the way I have to do it right now is I have to ask people like, what size shirt do you wear and what's your mailing address? And then I have to go in and make, like say I want to buy 10 shirts for 10 people. I literally have to make 10 different transactions because I can't buy 10 shirts and then ship them out to 10 different addresses. All right, hopefully that answers your question, Bilbo. Thank you for the question. All right, let's see. Nick Barker says, thank you, Jenny Housley, by the way. Yes, I would appreciate that, Jenny. Nick Barker says, do you ever watch the vids from the real Gerald Auger because they are a trip? I don't know what the real Gerald... Oh. Hold on. Is Nick Barker... Are you saying that Jerry Guy watches... Are you asking if Jerry Guy watches... The real Gerald. I don't know what you're talking about, Nick Barker. I'm sorry. I was actually trying to figure it out and failed. Marcus Kyler, Jerry, what you used to play before jarjacking that replaced the video with? Oh, I know what you're talking about. So actually, Marcus Kyler, one of the limitations of Restream, which is the platform I'm using for distribution, one of the limitations is that you can only install 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 video clips in the platform. And after that, you can't do any. And 4 of them are ads. And then 1 is the jaw-jacking intro. I have the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat brief intro. I have the outro. Barricade, Eric plays his own when he exits on Tuesdays. And I haven't deleted that yet because, and then I have another Simply Cyber outro and another Simply Cyber intro. So I just don't have space on it. Honestly, I had to delete them. All right, what else we got? And thank you, mods, for helping me out here. Just so you guys know, Meta CTF is this weekend. Oh, I have a huge update. What a freaking spaz this guy is. I got a huge update. I haven't scheduled it yet. Okay, but I'm telling you right now. January 31st from 12 to 1 p.m. So Friday, January 31st from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time will be the next state of Simply Cyber. So if you are not familiar with this, quarterly quarterly I have a like a state of the union address, right? So basically I see all of you as my boss, right? And I love the community. I love serving the Simply Cyber community. But there's a lot going on, and we're constantly making additions and changing things and whatever. So what I like to do is once a quarter, I hold a live stream and I break down what we've been doing and what you can expect to be coming. And I solicit feedback from the community. So if you haven't been to one in a while, or if you didn't know about that, that's what we do. Okay. I try to be very transparent with the community. And I ask the community for help, and you guys are always delivering. So January 31st, 2025, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. And I'll schedule that. It'll be on YouTube. Zemith, it'll be on YouTube. I might do something similar to what Black Hills does, where like I'll have Discord chat going as part of it, but it will be streamed on YouTube because I do it on YouTube for the following reasons. One, I want it to be recorded so people who are not available from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time can go back and watch it. It's not, it would completely go against one of Simply Cyber's core values of inclusion if we did a kind of an all hands meeting and made it so some of the people in the community couldn't participate. So that's why it's on YouTube. Plus it gets longer reach, but we could use Discord chat for sure. All right. So Aaron Carson says, "Hey Jerry, have you taken the CGRC cert? Looking to land a job in GRC. I love GRC Analyst Masterclass. Thank you. Going through it for the second time this week." Awesome, Aaron. And definitely remember, folks, if you buy the GRC Analyst Masterclass from me or from Simply Cyber Academy, you do have forever access to it, okay? So, and I will tell you, and other people can confirm this, right? So don't take my word for it. If you go through it a second time after you've worked in industry, you'll actually get more value from it. Like you'll hear or see things that you may have missed the first time through. There's layers in there. All right. As far as the CGRC cert goes, let's see what that is. This is from ISC Squared. I don't know. See, here's the thing. Because of our efforts, okay? Because of our efforts, community, and GRC Mafia, right? Chris Whitlock, B-Dubs. Because of our efforts over the last couple of years, GRC has become so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Okay? And these certification companies are all about straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. So to have a GRC cert sounds like a pretty lucrative idea. As far as this one goes... Whoops, hold on. Sorry about that. As far as this cert goes, where is it? As far as this one goes, looking quickly at it, this cert, I have looked at this one. Okay, so without getting like wicked in the weeds about it, this cert 100,000% is directly applicable to federal IT work. It doesn't say it, but all day, every day, this is NIST 837. Okay, NIST 830. Watch this. I'm about to melt faces. You came at me with GRC. You didn't think I was gonna come at. You didn't think I was gonna notice, huh? You don't come at me with GRC and not think I don't notice. Look at this. Okay, so check this out. Boom. Really quick. Ready? Gather around. The more you know. This is the NIST 837 risk management framework. It doesn't have numbers, but it starts at the top. You categorize the system based on various factors to figure out what security baseline of NIST 853 you need. Then you select those NIST 853 controls. Then you implement those NIST 853 controls in the environment. Then you assess the effectiveness if they are implemented correctly. Then you authorize the system for use in production, and then you ongoing maintenance and monitor. Now, that's how it's supposed to work. I can tell you, as a practitioner, that is not what happens. This is academic, and, it's a great effort, but this is not what happens. I'll tell you what really happens. You categorize. Well, here's what happens. The system gets deployed, okay? Then they realize they have to have InfoSec attached to it. So then they categorize it. Most people are like, it's got to be high. My system's awesome. It's high. And then you're like, well, that's really, really strict security controls. And they're like, actually, it's low. And you're like, no, it's not low. And they're like, fine, it's moderate. Then you select the controls. You implement them. When you assess and realize that a bunch of controls aren't in place. And then the ATO, the authorizing official, who doesn't actually understand IT or cyber, says, should I authorize this? And then the actual project or system owner says, we need this in the field now. This is important. And they say, okay, we'll authorize it. That's how it really works. Now check it out. Categorize, select, implement, assess, authorize, monitor. Let's go back to this CGRC. Overview. Domain 1 is an overview. Domain 2 is scope of the system. Scope of the system. That's categorize. Domain 3, select an approval of framework and controls. That is select phase 2. Number 4, implement controls. Phase 4 or phase 3, implement. Let me guess, the next one's about assessing. Assessment. Nailed it. Let's see, is the next one authorization or probably monitoring? Because authorization is like basically a one-time thing. Compliance, right? And compliance maintenance. So I don't know anything about this cert, but what I would tell you, whoever asked about it, Aaron Carson, what I would say is it's fine if you're going to work in federal IT. What I would do is what I do with all certifications. Look at the market, see if anyone's asking for it. If yes, and you want the jobs that are asking for it, then go get it. Otherwise, don't, unless your boss is going to pay for it. All right. Val Richardson, by the way, who is a first-timer, Val.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Is TikTok really a cyber no-no for the average user? What are your thoughts? P.S. I took your GRC course and I loved it. I lived for it. Ready for the rabbit hole. Awesome. Well, thanks, Val. All right, so TikTok really a cybersecurity no-no? I don't think so, honestly. Right? Like, if TikTok, if you're using TikTok, it is moving a lot of data off your phone. Like I've heard, I haven't done this experiment myself, but I've heard if you install TikTok on a fresh phone and don't open the app, you'll still see a lot of data going out. So it's kind of doing some nonsense on the back end. For a general average user, I don't think it's a big deal. I would continue to use best practices like unique password for that system. Not making sure permissions on your phone are tightly controlled, stuff like that. But I don't think it's like malware or spyware. I mean, you are making some privacy compromises, but I think it's okay. Next question. Roswell, did you catch the Black Hills webcast last week on GRC? No, I didn't. Although I did see that GRC Mafia is a channel on the Black Hills server, and I think Chris Whitlock had something to do with that. So, for all you GRC peeps out there, GRC Mafia, we are winning, and we are killing it. The Pain says, I heard during a podcast today that AI could help do most of my GRC. Is the world ending? LOL. No, here's the deal. You got to remember, like, AI is super powerful for sure, but, like, when you're trying to understand like what controls to pick or the best way to prioritize your information security program, it's got to be based on threat landscape, right? So if you ask AI right now, is AI thinking about the uptick in credit card skimming activity? I don't know, but I am. You know what I mean? So AI is a great tool to help, but not a tool to replace, in my opinion, at this time. Carrie says, I was told from Chat Gemini that I could find events to attend online for experience with cyber. Just wondering if I can find that in Discord. I know that I can find stuff in my area. Yeah, 100% Carrie. So everybody should be looking for local meetups in their area for cyber stuff. There's B-Sides, city name. There is Meetup, which is a service that allows people to set up meetups. In the Simply Cyber Discord server, we actually have an ambassador program. It got kind of screwed up when we rearranged the Discord server, but if you haven't noticed, Chris Whitlock, who is the director of community engagement now, has been doing a lot of work on the Discord server, like a lot of work. The Discord server is almost completely revitalized, and the ambassador program is something that we will be revisiting and making it easier for people to find. So like Toasty Pops is the ambassador for Kansas City. CJ is the Vegas ambassador. Jack Scott is the Raleigh-Durham ambassador. Marcus Kyler is the Detroit ambassador. So like we actually have in real life IRL Simply Cyber ambassadors who are doing local meetups and stuff. And we're going to be getting that sorted out. Oh my gosh, B-Side San Diego has a GRC keynote this year. We are winning so hard. Like straight up, it makes me want to tear up a little bit that GRC is getting its time in the sun. I'm so happy with it. Like, it's really been a struggle. People used to shat on GRC, and I know they still do, whether they want to or not. But like, we have a seat at the table. I freaking love it. All right, what else going on? Oyen Demola Huguenot says, please, any recommendations on good and free resources to learn PowerShell scripting and deobfuscation? We got an option right here, I think from Jenny Housley. Here we go. Check this out. Oyendoma and everybody else. Here's PowerShell resources. Boom. There you go. Space Tacos is the taco ambassador for Simply Cyber. Thank you, Space Tacos, as always. So here are some free PowerShell training resources. Please go use those. I would also remind everybody, at least in my opinion, the best way to learn a programming language is to have a like a use case. Don't just like learn these are data structures and this is a control loops. Like have a something, right? Like you said you wanted to learn deobfuscation, make that the use case. Like take a piece of obfuscated code and learn PowerShell in a way to deobfuscate it. 5 minutes till premiere. Excellent. Thank you very much. You can see here, 3 minutes. I'm going to drop a link in chat here. Wading through logs. And then I'll answer the next question. 3 minutes to premiere. We're going to raid the crap out of this. Next question. Any advice on prepping for a GRC analyst position interview with a university? So Fred on, great. Congratulations, Fred, on the interview. So I worked in higher education, so at a university, in a GRC capability. What I would say to you, Fred, on is I would honestly, I'd get familiar with like a framework like NIST-CSF or CIS 18. I would actually go Google news stories that happen in university and like get a feel for like what are some of the recent stories, and basically they can help talk about that. I'd also advise you check out Ren ISAC, REN-ISAC, REN-ISAC, Ren ISAC. That is a closed community for threat intelligence sharing of higher education, and they're an awfully chatty bunch. Now you won't be able to get into it without working in a university, but being familiar with it will give you some like insider baseball for the interview. And if the university you're interviewing doesn't know about it, then like you're already bringing value to them just in that interview by telling them about Ren ISAC, but chances are they do know about it. And the fact that you would know about it too is like a good lesson learned. Think about researchers who love sharing data as a threat area. And then finally, Fred, on think about the collaboration, like university to university or private sector to university, like depending if they do research at the university. Research is a huge area where you gotta be good with data governance. All right. Hopefully that helped everybody. All right. What's Nick Barker talking about? Map of airports I've cried in. I want Nick Barker. Will you please? I don't know if you have the time, Nick Barker, but I would love to discuss getting you a podcast on Simply Cyber. I think you're a treasure that needs to be shared with more people. All right, 60 seconds until our friend Josh Mason and Wading Through Logs, aka Wade Wells, is premiering. All right, I love it. Remember, January 31st, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be scheduling it. Let's go to Simply Defensive. As soon as it opens up, I will let you all know. I hope you guys got value from the jaw-jacking segment today. Remember, tomorrow, Eric Taylor will be doing jaw-jacking because I have to teach at Citadel. It's been fun. Chuck Sapp, thank you very much, Chuck Sapp. And if you guys don't know, sign up for the newsletter, ! Newsletter in chat. We send one out every single Monday, mad value. And on the Discord server, we've been announcing on the announcements channel the stream schedules for the week every Monday. So go check that out as well. Have a great day, everybody. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure.